Wonderful. Jessica, I'd like to start with you, please. Tell us who you are and what you're teaching and all of the things that you've been prompted to say.
Okay, so my name is Jessica Malin and I'm at Hazen High School and I teach in our resource department here, and it's primarily math that I teach. Something that I can celebrate since coming back from the pandemic is that it's been really fun to build relationships with students and to see how those relationships have leveraged change in their own lives and their self-confidence and in their academics and their ability to advocate. A challenge, I think all teachers can identify with this, is just the time constraints that are in a day. And so managing what gets chosen as a priority and what needs to not be a priority. I am planning on spending my $250 on math manipulatives and on supplementary materials to build relationships with students and to help develop those. And I want to thank Renton Rotary for the award. And I want to introduce my principal, Ashley Landis.
Hi, I am super excited that Jessica is our Teacher of the Month because she is truly the embodiment of a teacher that centers students. She sees the students not just where they're at, but also where they're going. And she helps them, as she talked about earlier, build that self-confidence by showing them the potential that they have inside of them. I think that Jessica outside of the classroom also helps our other teachers reach that understanding about students and realizing how they show up in the world and how that impacts how they approach the learning for the day. So without Jessica, I don't think we'd be in the more inclusive space that we're in as a school. So I appreciate her not only inside of the classroom, but her leadership outside as well.
That's super. I really appreciate getting to meet you too. For me, you're a new face and it's wonderful to have you with us. Great. Next, let's talk to Beth.
Hi, I'm Beth Middlehoven. I teach at Highlands Elementary School. I have a K-5 self-contained class for kids with severe behavioral and emotional needs. I have 6 students right now. Let's see, celebration is how much time my students are accessing their general education classes, like their grade level classes, and how they're able to make friendships and access the instruction from their general education classroom teachers. It's been really great being able to support them and accessing that, as well as just all the emotional growth they've made. I've had some of these students for 4 more years, so it's been really nice to watch them grow up and see all the growth they've made. A challenge, so lots of small challenges, but I have a great team that helps me with all of those. It's just making sure everything is equitable for all students across the program, and that we're just looking at the whole student and treating them equitably and making sure everyone is. I'm planning on using my money to buy books for my 5th graders, because when this program was started with me, they told me it was going to be K2, so I only had little kid books, and I need some books for my kids because they've learned to read and do a great job, and they're looking for novels, and I need some more. So that's what I'm going to spend it on. And I just really wanted to thank the Rotary for the opportunity. It's nice that 2 special education teachers are here. I think that's really, really fun that we're both being recognized. And this is my principal, Alfred de Blasio.
Well, Alfred, what have you got to say that she hasn't already covered?
Well, she's selling herself pretty darn short is where I'll start, I guess.
There you go.
So yeah, I mean, well, Beth's saying that she has this program, but she didn't explain that she created the program and built the program 5 years ago. And she truly is an expert around social emotional learning and goals, and she provides endless support for our entire school around social emotional and just special education support in general. Yeah, I think one thing that's important to know is the district has only 2 of these specific programs in the district for elementary schools. So kids come from various schools, various of the 16 or 17 elementary schools where we're at now, to Highlands. And one thing, Beth, that I really want to make sure Beth hears from me here and knows, and Rotary hears, is Beth helps the parents trust a system where their child wasn't successful in. And so I don't know how else to say this, but for a child to come to this program, they've not had really great experiences in the schools they were in because of their deficits around behavior. And Beth truly can help build the trust that parents don't have when their child comes to our program, that Beth created, built, and is thriving. We have many students that have exited, many students that spend most of their day in the gen ed setting. And yeah, it keeps getting better. And the great thing is, Beth's talking about equity. She's not afraid to speak up and tell me and put me in my place, especially when it comes to kids. So thank you, Beth. You deserve this more than anything.
Thank you, Alfred. I was thinking when both of our teachers were speaking that you really are heroes. And I think that special ed is special. And that program is something new I had not heard about before. I'm delighted to hear about it. Thank you all so much.
Hello, my name is Daniela Carol Sanchez. My students call me Señorita Carol Sanchez. I teach 5th grade at Renton Park Elementary. A challenge that I have encountered in my work is that I have never actually experienced having a Latina teacher before. And so not having somebody necessarily to kind of bounce ideas off or share my same experiences with was a little bit difficult when I first started. But luckily our district does have a Teachers of Color PLC, which really helped me feel welcomed and made me feel like my experiences in the classroom with students, with parents, was valuable, especially because I reflect what our school community looks like. And so that was always a really big thing for myself. And so definitely being part of my building and kind of creating the equity team at the building where I'm at right now has really helped with that challenge as well. And just creating safe spaces for myself and other educators in our building to feel comfortable to share their culture in the workplace has really been a huge thing for me. Something that I plan to use the grant for is I would really love to get books in more than one language, because as a student, my family was told, like, you need to stop speaking Spanish at home, like you really need to start speaking English. And I feel like as time has come, that's a change, and we want to embrace our students as they are and our families as they are, and create a love for their culture, and so that they can come to school and share that with us here. And so I feel like having books in more than one language would definitely have access points, especially for our language learners, to participate in our learning. I would also like to get fidgets for my class. We have some pretty energetic students in 5th grade, and so giving them some opportunities to have fidgets so that their bodies are focused, so that their minds can focus. I would like to thank the Renton Rotary for this recognition. I was very surprised and very elated when I got the news. I see it as a huge compliment, especially in this part in my career. And I would like to thank my administration team for creating a work environment where I feel like I can authentically show up as myself, and I'm celebrated for the differences that I can make in our building and that I have made in this building.